Hey, Space Coast. How are you guys? This is Jesse, your host of the Space Coast Eats podcast. We're coming to you live from the Space Coast Podcast Studios. And here's our faces. We have a beautiful guest in the studio with us. But before we get there, we just want to remind you that if you are watching live on Facebook, go ahead and leave us some comments and questions. We'd love to see your feedback. And, of course, as always, if there's something that you could really do for us, that's give a big share to the stream. Let all your friends know what's going on here in the studio, and that way they could also be a part of the show. Okay. Man, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Darleen, as always, is here by my side. She is with eatdrinkplaybrevard.com, a local food blog. And, well, I'll just let you take it from there, Darleen. How have you been?
I've been pretty well. How about yourself?
Great. I got to fix this camera. I feel like the camera's
wonky? Is it wonky?
Yeah, we got you guys sliding down the room here.
Yeah. I feel like we're like in like this playhouse of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going sideways.
Yeah. Kind of more ceiling than anything else. There you go. All right. Now we're talking. All right. Perfect. No, I've been doing pretty good. I know we took last week off. I had a lot of work stuff going on, so it was not super convenient to do the podcast last week. So I appreciate everybody working with me last week. But so you know what I did do this week, and we'll talk about it a little bit more during my spot is I did downtown Disney, or it used to be downtown Disney Springs.
Disney Springs? You were there?
Yeah, went for a little bit. Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit more about that because I know some people are apprehensive about going out to Disney Springs. But it was probably I would call it not the happiest place on earth, but it's definitely the safest.
Is it really that safe, though?
It might be. Welcome to the safest place on earth. Oh. Yes, it definitely was. So I'll get into a little bit more about that when I do my spot later on.
Yeah, so don't miss that. At the bottom of the hour, we always go to Darlene's segment, This Week's Eats.
Yes, I do want to mention, because we always do at the top of our hour, our wonderful, amazing sponsors, Major's Restaurant and Golf. We just love them. And we actually went out the last time we were here afterwards, and Jesse and I tried their par 3 Rita.
Yeah.
We got it right. I'm so excited. They are having an event this week. They are having a band play called Sax on the Beach.
Sax on the Beach.
Sax on the Beach.
That sounds familiar. I think they're local. I think they've been around for a bit.
Probably.
Maybe.
So if you don't have a lot going on, it's Friday night,
hey.
and the feeling's right. You got to go and check them out, some local entertainment, and try their food. I mean, I had a hamburger there. You had a hamburger too.
We did. We went there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
After the last show.
After our last podcast.
And it was, the menu was really cool. All the food that came out was really exciting.
Yeah.
My burger was cooked perfectly. You elected to have the cheese. The French fries, I couldn't finish all the fries. They're like the big, like kind of curly, but they're steak fries.
Yeah.
They're just jumbo seasoned, just really good, unique fries.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. And we thought, well, do we really want to do a burger? We come all the way out here just to have, probably not the most exciting dish. Because there was some other very exciting dish.
But sometimes you just need a burger.
It was highly recommended.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we chose because I know why it's highly recommended.
It was really good.
It's a darn good burger.
Yeah,
yes.
And she said that their chef worked out at a Disney property. Is that correct?
That's right. So he is very, the sandwich comes out, okay? You have the exposed beef, or for you is, cheese on beef. And
how do you eat a hamburger with no cheese?
It was tough. But I wanted to get all the flavor of because it's really easy just to put a patty together and put on a grill and call it a burger.
Yeah.
It's more than that. Like for me, I like to season mine with some Worcestershire, just a little bit. Let the beef soak in there for a little bit, maybe an hour before.
Yeah.
And then of course a little salt, pepper, just your regular stuff. I actually use a little white pepper, a little garlic powder as well in there, and then of course it's a lot about preparation. You just don't take. meat patty, a little salt and pepper, and I mean, some people I guess could, but I think they're doing a disservice because you can do so much more. I mean, even just some breadcrumbs, or I mean, I've seen burgers built a half a dozen ways, and they're all good, but I think it's just how you present it.
Gotcha.
So this was served with the burger on the bottom side of the bun, and had beautiful diamond grill marks. You don't see that too often, and then the veg portion, the LTO, lettuce, tomato, onion, is sitting on the top side of the bunion, the onion, or bun. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, Jesse, get it together. Bunion, and it was a good bun. It was a brioche.
Yeah,
bun.
It is. It's a nice.
It was
bun.
a very good piece of bread.
Yeah.
And then of course so they serve it with the condiments on the side. So you choose ketchup and mayo and mustard and so forth. So you put it together, and then of course and then just diving into it, everything was fresh, crisp. Again, well-seasoned patty, cooked just right, and I couldn't have been more thrilled.
Yeah, no, I thought they were amazing. It was a nice night too. But the par 3 Rita, my Lord, is really good. And what happens when you go in and you want one of those and you say, Eat Drink Play Brevard or Space Coast Eats? It's free. It's complimentary. Your first one is complimentary. Hey. So yeah.
That's
great
a good
deal, right?
Can't
yeah.
be free.
Yeah, you can. It's definitely a good dealio. So go check out the Saks, be very clear, on the beach tomorrow night at Major's Golf and Restaurant if you want a little entertainment and maybe pick up a margarita or pargarita.
Par 3 Rita.
Whoa. And maybe a burger or something else that is on the menu that...
I wrote it down.
He wrote it down. Or something else that tickles your fancy.
I'm losing with this.
The camera.
This camera here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, continue.
Yes, we will continue. So we have an awesome guest in the house, Jesse.
I know.
That I'm super excited about. It's one of my favorite actually, it is my favorite coffee shop in Cocoa Village, which I don't get to go to very often because I live on the other side of Brevard, the world's longest county in all of the world. So if you live at one end, you're kind of screwed. If you got to go to the other, it's like you could drive to Disney almost in the same time frame.
Yeah.
So it was very exciting when they agreed to be a guest on our show today. But I get to go there every once in a while, and I usually grab a coffee latte and a couple, different things. I have had the luxury to grab some popsicles during the 4th of July, and I was able to post a couple of pictures of those, but they were absolutely delish. But this is Elizabeth. She is the owner of River-Road-coffee and Popsicles. We're just gonna it's. Oh my gracious.
Continue.
Yes, so I would like to introduce Elizabeth. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here and talk about my favorite thing on this planet. So
yeah, are you a coffee addict?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's considered to be a main food group for me.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah. Have you always been into coffee?
I have. High school was where I really started to learn, and then college is when it became my drug of choice.
Right.
And then, after college and stuff, it's just, I love it so much. It's a whole experience for me, and I mean, I'm sure we'll get into my deep, dark love of coffee.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So one of the things, and just talking to you before the podcast, we talked a little bit about the things that I liked about your particular location, and I kind of mentioned that it was like Central Perk on Friends, and Luke's from Gilmore Girls. It's like they had a baby.
Which is great. They're two of my favorite shows.
Exactly. Well, gosh, if you're a girl, or even if you're not, oh my gracious, Jesse, you're making me like.
I know.
I'm literally feeling like I'm on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
This is a studio first. Let me just bear with me.
Okay, I've got a dress on, so just keep it above the table. So I just wanted to as we were talking about these two locations, and you mentioned about college.
So the reason why it's full of couches and it's more of a very homey environment, like I've had plenty of customers come in and they say, like, I really do feel like I'm at home here. is because in college, I went to college in Mississippi, and there was a couple different local shops there, but the one that was closest to the campus that I was on just had a ton of couches in there. It had a ton of different rooms. It was an old house that converted into a business, and we would go there, you know, sometimes I would go there by myself and study and whatnot, but then friends and I would go there and hang out all day, and it really did become our home. And so when I came back to Florida, obviously there were a couple local shops, but nothing like that. And so I kind of dreamed for 5 years of what I would do and how I would do it. And then I got some experience being a barista to make sure that was what I wanted to do before I sunk my entire life into it. And then just as I was kind of collecting furniture for it, once I found the location, and we have a couple different, so it's laid out really cool. It's different areas. You can come in and it's our main room, and then you walk through that and there's our service counter on one side, and then there's our mug wall, and then behind the mug wall is kind of what I consider to be like the workspace. So if you're there and you need to just be quiet and be secluded and work, you can go there, and we've got comfortable chairs to sit in because, again, like I thought of every aspect of how someone's experience would be in there. So we've got chairs that are comfortable enough to sit in for 5-6 hours. And then if you keep walking past the service area, we have an entire room dedicated to kids and families. Because what I saw in different coffee shops in different areas is families would come in, but you give kids about 2 minutes and then they're done. But with us, since we also had the popsicle element to it, I thought, let's give them a little play area. I've got some books in there. Pre-COVID days, we had toys that you could play with, but now we've taken those away for right now. But you come in, and that way families can sit, friends can visit. We have a ton of mom groups that come in, and there's that community that can happen. Your kids can play, eat their popsicle. It's all wipeable surfaces in there, so nothing's cloth.
Popsicles get sticky.
Yeah. No, we used to have a cloth couch in there, and I was like, and that doesn't work. But it's really just a place where you can come and sit and feel like family there. You can have your community there. You can come do, you know, homework there, work there, have a conversation there, break up there. Someone told me they had their best first date there, and I was like, you're welcome.
Have you had anyone ever get engaged there?
No, but, you know, let's do that. I could get engaged
so
there.
We're putting that out there. Anyone
there
wants to get engaged, we have a great location.
Engagements, weddings.
Please.
Bachelorette parties.
Yeah, I mean, we've had family photos taken there. We have had an engagement shoot there. Some couple reached out and they're like, "We love your place and we want to take some photos." And there's like, "Have at it."
Yeah,
you know, that's fine.
You have so many different textures in your location. That's where I think kind of the like Luke's kind of comes in. It has that like little small town feel, but it's got like the Central Perk where you can come and hang out kind of thing vibe. But you have like the wood wall, and you've got, you know, drink coffee, and then you have the popsicle, so you can get, you know, your selfies if you want to do your selfies.
They were made for Instagram.
They super Instagrammable. Yes. That part is really cool. I like that. And then you have different kind of couches, but your couches are spread out enough where they're private, so you're not on top of other people. Because I know sometimes when you go into, we won't name those
other places.
Starbucks. Oh, I said it.
The other guys.
The other guys that are like on every corner, and they'll have like little spots to sit on, but you're literally on top of everyone else. And if you've got somebody that's on the phone that's having, you know, a call, either personal or not, you can hear everything. So yours is not set up like that.
And some of those stores are floor to ceiling glass.
Yeah.
And hard floors and hard tables and chairs. So it's everything's just reflecting everywhere. You know, there's no like soft texture or coziness or you know. And I think, you know, as far as like feng shui, you know, I think a lot of those places, and this is not a secret. If you ever go to a restaurant or bar and they have the temperature like very cold and the seats are very hard, it's because they don't want you to hang out. They want you to feel like, I got to get out of here.
In and out.
You know, like this is uncomfortable. I'm cold. I'm stiff. This chair isn't, you know, exciting. So when you offer a homey kind of feeling, yeah, you're going to generate a comfortable time, which is just going to encourage people to relax and hang out and be themselves and not feel rushed and the whole thing. Plus, again, fabric, soft textures and soft touch points really help absorb the sound. So again, you don't feel like you're listening to every conversation, trying to concentrate, and that's important too, because I feel like some people walk into these places and they feel like it's their office and they're at outside voices and they're having conversations which
as a barista we kind of love, because eavesdropping is one of our favorite pastimes sometimes.
It keeps the day going. It keeps the day going by faster, right?
Yeah. It makes you think, I could put like a camera in here and have like a reality show, right?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Well, we do have cameras because safety first, but and I sometimes look into them and I'm like, man, if it wasn't probably illegal to sell all of this, some people would.
If you disclose when they walk in, we are live streaming our surveillance cameras. Some people probably have a good time with it, and probably exploit that. Like, here I am, everybody's watching me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you talked about the wall of mugs, and that was one of the things that I thought was like the coolest thing. Because you have this huge wall of mugs, which you're currently not using due to COVID, because you are doing all paper. But when you're not, when this is Looney Tune world all over, and we can go back to the wall of mugs. So tell me, they're all different.
They are. So much to my roommates' dismays over the last 10 years, I have loved coffee mugs. I just love them. And so I always got yelled at by roommates for having way too many. And I always told them, I'm going to have a coffee shop one day and I'm going to use them in there. So I need to keep buying them. It's for a purpose. And they were like, oh, okay, sure. And so the day I actually opened the coffee shop, I texted all of my roommates from college. And I just said, I told you guys I would do this. Like,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So they are all pretty much mine that I've collected over the years.
Okay.
The ones that I have deep sentimental value are still at my home. I refuse to let people see those or have them. But we've just collected them. We've had some customers that have given them to us, and we've had, some will bring a box and I'll go through and pick the ones I want. Some of my baristas have brought theirs in. But we think it's cool. It's a part of that hometown-y feeling. We want to have our product, so we believe in our coffee, obviously. We think we're one of the best coffee shops on the Space Coast. But we wanted our product to match, but I didn't want it to be so pretentious.
So corporate.
Yeah, and there's plenty of coffee shops or shops that you can walk in and you're like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not a connoisseur of coffee. I don't like eat beans in the morning and like feel their notes. We wanted it to still feel like anyone can walk in and say like, okay, I can get something here. I feel comfortable here.
Well, this is a different place and it's not a coffee shop, but when we go to Backwater, we always can't wait to see what mug we're going to get. And so my other half is not a father. He's not a big kid person. And sometimes he gets ones that says dad, and he's like, So it's just funny because there is one that's like dad or something like that. And so it's just funny. We always laugh at which ones we might get, because it's just, it's the luck of the draw. They just give you what they give you.
And like, we'll have customers come in and they'll pick a mug off the wall and we'll go sanitize it for them before we use it. And it'll be based off of like their mood for the day. So like sometimes it's a funny one and sometimes it's like, please do not, like we have one that says not today, Satan, and they're like, I can't do this today.
I want that mug.
Yeah,
I totally want that
2020.
Mug. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of mugs, you must have your own mugs, right?
We have our own mugs. We have all of the merch that you could want. We've got hats, shirts, mugs. We have syrups, our house syrups we bottle up. We have cold brew concentrate. I have a couple new merchandise things that I'm working on that, I'm making sure they're quality tested.
So rewind. I heard cold brew concentrate. I think I just saw a post in the last couple of days, maybe even today. Today's post. I felt so intrigued. I never heard of this.
So
what is this magic?
We make our own cold brew. And how we do it is we don't offer iced coffee. If you really super want it, we'll give it to you and we'll make it like an iced Americano, or we'll do an iced pour over for you. But I believe in cold brew more than anything because it's a better caffeine content and it's smoother and less acidic. So coffee can cause stomach issues. So for that, it's best. And then we do a concentrate because that way we can tailor it to what the customer wants. So there are some that come in and they're like, do not put any water in that concentrate, give it all to me, I want everything. And then we have some who are like, I want some stronger iced coffee, but I don't want it too strong. So then we'll do a little bit, we'll do about 2 ounces worth of concentrate in there to some water and make it so that we can really tailor a drink to your personal preference.
So I'm curious, do you brew like a extra roasted or extra?
So it's
Go
our
ahead.
dark roast Honduras. We cold steep it. So that's what cold brew is you steep it cold. So we will do ours for 24 hours and then we'll go through and we'll strain it out. We'll double strain it so that there's no grinds in there. And then we just put it all in our back fridge and that's what we pull from. And we probably make new batches of cold brew about every 3 days. We go through it.
So how do you
very
reduce
quickly.
the water content?
So we have a standard set of what we make that's just our normal. And so the water content is, so we'll take like from our pitcher of cold brew, we'll do 2 to 3 ounces into a cup and then we'll add just normal. We have our filtered water that we'll add into there. Or if somebody again wants it super strong, they will just we'll fill it up with all cold brew and we'll say, please have your heart attack off of this property.
So so to make a concentrate, usually you take an abundant amount and you reduce it down, or is it just like just the high octane brew is a concentrate? Is that what I'm getting? And then you just water it down like an Americano?
Correct.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, and so we'll bottle up the concentrate itself, and that way you can take just the concentrate home. And we have 16-ounce bottles that will yield, I mean, depending on your preference, you could have one, or you could have, it'll get you about 4 to 6 different cups at home that you can make. You can add it to your smoothies. I do that sometimes.
And it's a ratio like 1 to 1, like 2 ounces to 2 ounces?
No, it's so 2 ounces to 6 ounces is what we recommend.
Okay, so it's like 4 to 1. Okay. Or even 3 to 1. That's okay. So that's quite
It's
diluted.
very strong.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like a
Yes.
That would keep me up all night.
what's the word? A concentrate.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. So that sounds fantastic. It's and that's. I don't hear about that. So is that like your own ingenuity? That's your own kind of product, or did you hear somebody else do it before? Or?
No, I mean we started bottling it from COVID. It was just a way that we kind of had to pivot.
Right.
Because I was thinking, and I follow a bunch of coffee shops all over the country because I like to see what's happening here in the South. I like to see what's happening out Northwest. I like to see what's happening in in the mountains and up in New
likewise,
York. And so I like to watch. And what I noticed is a lot of the shops on the West Coast of the country started offering all of their drinks, but in like gallon containers or in pints, so that they mixed it in house, but then you can take it home because people weren't going out, and so they'll come and they'll buy some the same way they would buy groceries for the week. They'll swing by the coffee shop, grab their cold brew or syrups for the week, and then go home. So I just kind of looked in and started to pivot that way. I'd never intended to do it, but it's something that's worked really well for us. I love it because now I'm like, oh, I can also take this home. Like I can make this at home now too.
Precisely. So when you say syrups, some people are thinking like an agave nectar or a maple syrup, but you're talking about the flavoring, like the splash.
So this is one of the more pretentious things that I just love.
Sure.
I don't love just the bottled syrup that I can buy offline. There's a different taste and quality if you make it yourself. So we make the majority of our syrups ourselves. The only ones we don't is like mocha and caramel and white chocolate. But we make our own lavender, and we get organic lavender buds. We use organic cane sugar, our filtered water, so it's very pure tasting. We
Sounds
make our
clean,
own rose syrup, which is
rose.
wonderful. Yes,
That's
rose.
not cheap.
No.
Like rose essential oils, like
No, so we have a supplier that will send us organic red rose petals, and we actually put the petals into the syrup, and we make it, and you let it sit together, and then we'll strain it out.
Oh my God.
so yeah, okay. So kind of like what they do with the vodka. You know, they just kind of let it just kind of sit in there and adopt some of the flavors. But what I was getting at, the rose petals, they don't yield a whole lot of like natural oils, like an orange peel or lavender. You know, I mean, they're
very dry.
There's some flowers and roots and different things that you could they extract very plentiful of that essential juices or whatever else. So rose petals, I mean, it must take a lot to infuse enough to get that flavor and so forth. And it's a delicate flavor.
It is, and it's one that it's from a shop, I think out west, that they had a rose latte, and I was like, oh, please tell me. Right. Clue me in here.
Exactly.
And it's one of my favorites. Our vanilla rose latte is kind of one of our staple drinks.
Rose. Where have I been?
I've got to try that. I've got to get away from just the chocolate.
Yeah.
I need to like take a leap.
Listen, if anyone's listening, hear my plea.
Right.
Stop with your iced caramel macchiatos.
Right.
Try something different. Let us craft.
Vanilla rose sounds amazing. I mean, lavender coffee. I mean, this sounds foreign. It sounds like teas. It sounds like
it's craft coffee. So coffee. I mean, here's the thing. Coffee can be as simple as a black cup of coffee, which I think the quality of a coffee shop should be to your black cup of coffee. If you can't have
that is a standard,
good black cup of coffee,
I measure everything on a black cup of coffee.
I do too.
I won't eat your food if you serve me a horrible cup of coffee.
Yeah. But then we get to kind of play around and have way more fun with the flavors we make, and so our vanilla syrup is also a high quality vanilla extract that my friend,
Madagascar.
No, it's from I had to get it imported from Mexico. It's a very
Mexican vanilla. Okay.
She turned it on to me, and I was like, oh, this is different.
I'm excited because I now really want to just do the lavender. I want to try it so bad.
You should.
I never heard of a coffee shop making their own syrups.
No, I figured you got it just like it was this pump stuff that, you know.
No. You can taste the quality.
Oh my gosh, I'm definitely Oh, yeah.
I'm probably gonna need to bring a straight jacket because I can't. I'm not gonna be able to just try one. Like I'm gonna have to try like all three. Do you offer decaf?
Oh, you should
have decaf.
You do. Okay. So I won't be bouncing off
samplers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Little samplers.
There you go. Take some notes.
Yeah, right. Pivot again.
Oh my goodness. So a lot of these ideas. So we've talked to so many people that have come in the studio, and we always find it really interesting. You know, while COVID is clearly something that's really horrific thing that's kind of happened to the world, our country, and clearly our own community, we've seen so many people that have reinvented themselves in a positive way, and come up with different solutions in order to keep their business afloat. And this is something that I think is really cool that you have, you know, as you put it, pivoted in order to reinvent yourself a little bit and it's really great for your customers because it keeps your customers staying at home safer and yet still be able to get your product without, you know, as I say, you know, running in and carrying out and just grabbing it to go, where they can get it to go and keep it all week or keep it for a period of time, depending on how much you're drinking, that you don't have to keep running out and potentially exposing yourself. But I think that's really cool that you were able to do that and think so quickly on your feet. That's really, I love it. I love the ingenuity.
Yeah, and like they say, necessity is the mother of invention, and I think you've been very inventing wise.
Yeah.
Well,
own syrups, concentrates to go. You know, because listen, I mean. I'm thoroughly impressed, and we haven't even gotten to the Boozy Popsicles.
No, exactly. And the other thing, as far as your popsicles, you get those to go too. That's how I got mine, because when I ordered them, I was like, oh, and she said I can just wrap these up to go in ice and bags, and I was like, done.
Yeah. That was something that also we had that before, but it was never something we really pushed a lot. But then obviously once COVID happened, we started the dozen pop packs, and we had moms that would come in and get them for the day or for the week, and it was a special treat for their kids while they're home, and that has really just taken on. And you know, I've had some people that are like, well, I could go, you know, to Publix and get a pop or a pack of popsicles for $5. And I said, you could, but do they have cookies and cream and Nutella and whipped pineapple, and do they have booze pops, and do they have all of these things? And we make them all ourselves, and we come up with the recipes, and you know, there's a whole, you pay for the quality that you want, and and they're just, we love coming up with flavors. Now that we have been at it for about a year, we are way more knowledgeable about popsicles, and because I didn't really know anything before I started this place. but we've gotten to have more fun with it, and now we're starting to do more specialty pops. So we're dipping them in different chocolates, and we're adding, coatings to them, and we're coming up with infusing, and so we're playing around with it pretty well.
Instagrammable popsicles.
Listen, I want to learn more. We do have to pay respect to, of course, our sponsors, and when we come back, just a little teaser. You have something for us to try, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna try something that Elizabeth has graciously brought to the studio, and when we come back, also, just want to plug my beautiful mother, and I want to congratulate her. She finally published her very own oracle deck. It is the food healing oracle deck. Okay, these are oracle cards that you do readings with, and we're going to do a reading. The first one, Elizabeth, congratulations! You're our guinea pig.
Excited.
We are going to have her draw 3 cards, and then we have the beautiful booklet that shows you. Tells you what each card means, and I think we're just going to do a quick fun drawing. The one that I think we chose was the we're gonna pick 3 of them, and we're going to do, let's see, past, present, and future. So we're going to pick 3 cards, and whatever fruit or vegetable, legume, bean, nut, whatever we may pick, it's going to have its own story. So we're going to go through that when we return, plus Darlene's this week's
it's a segment.
It's a segment. It's a segment. All right, so much more to come. Don't go anywhere. We love you guys, and thank you once again to our River Road Coffee and Popsicles guest here in the studio. Much more to come. Don't go anywhere. Hey, come down to the Majors Golf Club in Bayside Lakes. We are under new ownership and challenging you to bring your game. So if you can hit the long drive or perhaps a hole-in-one, then book your tee time now and head on over. We are open to the public and look forward to seeing you on the majorly improved greens. Oh, and make sure to check out our amazing new menu filled with delicious food and drinks at our completely renovated sports bar and grill, the Majors Golf Club at Bayside Lakes, Palm Bay.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
Have you or anyone at your place of work or business tested positive for COVID-19 or COVID-19 antibodies? If so, call PT Group to come out and test the microbial activity within your facility. Within minutes, our service kills COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria and keeps the surfaces in your home, facility, and business protected up to 90 days from further antimicrobial attacks. More and more businesses and homes are trusting PT Group to keep their living and workspaces safe. Call or text for more information. 888-672-7724. That's 888-672-7724.
Hello, everyone. This is this week's Eat, and this is a segment with Darleen from the Eat Drink Play Brevard. So this is just a little recap over, honestly, the last couple weeks and just some things that we have done in places that we've eaten recently. So I talked to Jesse at the beginning of the podcast about hitting up Disney Springs. And I went with a girlfriend, and we spent a little bit of time. First of all, I'll just tell you a little bit in case you're curious or thinking about going with your family.
Right.
They temperature check you when you go in, which is great and it's fine. But I will tell you, people that I know, a lot of people that I know that have had COVID never even ran a temperature. So that's great, but I'm not sure that's really super productive. But it's not going to hurt, right?
As with all the precautions, it's I think more feel good than scientifically proven.
So, but you do have to wear a mask the entire time, and if you eat or drink, you're not allowed to walk around with a drink.
That's so weird.
So you have to sit down.
Gotta finish that.
You got to finish that drink, and they are very strict. Because I will tell you, one thing that did bother me a little bit, and I guess maybe I'm not a negative person, so I shouldn't maybe say this, but I'm going to, is a family was walking, and like a maybe 3-year-old was in a stroller, and the 3-year-old had pulled his mask down to take a sip out of maybe a sippy cup. And a staff member, and they were completely by themselves. Nobody was even close to them, because honestly, there's not a lot of people. If you want to go to Disney Springs and be able to sing and dance and whatever, now is the time, because there's nobody there. A staff member from way over here, excuse me, sir, your son, you need to pull up his mask. And I'm going, there is nobody around him. He's like 3 years old in a stroller. I would have been just going, thank you, sir, and just kept on trucking. I wouldn't have. But he bent over and pulled his kid's mask up over his face. But
Well, it sounds like they're
strict.
being overly precautious.
They're very, very precautious. And then the amount of people that go into the stores is very limited. So you stand on like a spot outside the store waiting. And then when you do go in, there really is no one in the stores. It's literally, my girlfriend and I went into the store, and it's like we had the whole floor to ourselves. I'm not sure where the other people were. So I'm not sure how many people they're actually allowing in the stores.
My wife would love to know that the Mac store at Disney Springs is like one at a time.
Yeah, it's very, very limited, which, that was nice, because it's you don't, sometimes I will like go into Publix here and I'm like freaking out because people are like all up in my grill. So yeah, it was definitely safe. But we ate at the boathouse.
Haven't been there yet.
We go there quite a bit. I love the boathouse. We go out all the way to the water, sit out on the deck. We always sit like in the same area, because I like to watch the little, I call them the boat cars. I like to watch them because I'm always waving because they come down. And then I always thought they were waving at me, and come to realize there's a photographer over here taking their picture. So they're not waving at me.
They're not that friendly.
They're not that friendly. So that was kind of disappointing. But I got the lobster roll. I've been on a little bit of a lobster kick these days. The lobster, you see my hand, Jesse?
Yes.
Everybody see my hand?
Yes.
Lobster chunks this size in that roll. So I get it. I'm super excited. And I don't know if anyone saw any of my Instagram.
Go follow her for the Instagram, because I saw it and it broke my heart. It broke my heart.
I went to pick it up, and the biggest chunk, which literally was the biggest chunk on the whole thing, fell off and onto the ground.
It was whole claw.
It was like, yeah. And I'm looking on the ground going, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, do we have like the 5-second rule here at Disney? Because I can do it really fast. And she looked at me and she goes, no.
Oh, come on. I would have dipped into my sangria. That'll kill it.
Damn it. So I sat there, and this little bird came over, and I got a video of him.
Yes, it was so cute.
He grabbed it. I'm like, you can have it, little baby, because I just felt bad. But the staff, and he went, I took his picture. He really wanted me to actually take his picture. He was adorable. I don't even know why he was so cute. But he brought me another big chunk.
That's very generous of them.
Well, it's Disney. It's the magical place on earth, right?
Well, especially when you're probably charging $28 a lobster roll.
They know how to serve.
Yeah, exactly. But it was delicious. I had sangria, which I get there. I think I've had that before, but every drink I've had on the boathouse, and they'll do customized drinks there when it's busy and things are, it's a fun group down there. So. So hit that up and got a couple of
in Disney Springs, you don't need an annual pass, or there's no any kind of free parking.
I had amazing parking. Usually you're hunting and pecking for a parking spot. No, it's free. You're parked right up front. No worries. I will say, wearing the mask, that's the longest time I personally have worn a mask. And I don't have acne. I really did. I broke for the first time ever. I was like, oh my gosh, I broke out. But but you got to do what you got to do to be safe. And I'm not by any stretch. Don't take that as complaining. But so the other a couple other places that we hit up this week. Oh, well, we talked about our part 3 Ritas. One place I went down to.
I gotta show the picture.
Oh yeah. Oh, show our pictures. So we also headed down to. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Square Grouper in Fort Pierce.
It's Tequesta.
Yes.
Jupiter.
Okay.
Right there on the Jupiter
Inlet. There's one in Fort Pierce too.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
They have a second location?
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah. So,
I never knew.
And that one's actually closer. the Fort Pierce one. But yes, and the water there is beautiful. It's a great location. There's a couple little things there, right there at the, I don't know what you call it, this little finger point. But so we like to go there and just chill out. You have to be 21 and up though, so to just put that out there.
So of the pictures, which one is the
Okay, so I'll explain what we had there. So at Square Grouper, clearly I like Mexican because that seems to be the two things that are in the picture. I didn't even think about it. But I just got grilled chicken tacos and I got a salad, thinking I was getting something healthy, and then they loaded it with cheese. But, you just push that to the side a little bit. I was trying to eat a little bit more healthier lately. But it was really, really good. You just squeeze. I love lime, tacos, just delish. But, honestly, at the end of the day, their food is very good at Square Grouper. It really, truly is. But...
And you're not kidding. That water in the background looks just beautiful.
Yeah, and there's not a bad spot in the whole place. The thing with Square Grouper is, and I actually really like this model, is when you go in, you find your own seat, but you place your order. They give you a buzzer, and then you go pick it up. But it's really high quality food, so you don't get a waiter.
Okay.
That is like the downside. If you find that is the downside, I personally kind of like it, but it's not a waiter service. But
So what about cocktails? You have to.
you have to go get your own cocktails.
Okay, so it's strictly just bar service, counter service.
Right,
Yeah.
but they give you the buzzer and then you go pick up your food. So
Yeah.
you don't stand there and wait for it.
Yeah.
So you can go relax and enjoy. But I think he brought the cocktails. I think he ordered the cocktails and got them immediately.
Okay.
I don't think he had to go back and get those, if I recall.
Curious.
But there's usually a band there. I mean, there was a band there on Saturday. There's typically live music, and it's good stuff. I know that 21 to Burn, which was here locally for a long time, they would play down there quite a bit. That's how
Nice.
we kind of found it.
And that's
actually.
only an hour south, Fort Pierce, from what I find. Yeah.
Well, we were just trying to get, and they don't have high, we were just trying to get like a little bit more relaxed, different
Right.
place, different scenery. So we went down there. And then the other picture that I had
Yes.
was the Seafood Shack, which is the tiki bar we go to quite a bit. They had, and this was their special, they had fajitas. And it was their take on fajitas. They actually posted it on their Facebook page today, shared it. I thought that was really sweet that they reshared. But they had just a grilled chicken that they sliced, which you can't tell it's sliced in the picture because it was actually just grilled like right off the grill. And then they had put grilled onions, grilled peppers on top of it, and then melted cheese. It was just their spin on a fajita with yellow rice and beans and then some tortillas on the side. It was actually really good. And they have an amazing view too. So if
Yeah.
you've never hit up,
Are you talking about the Shack?
yeah,
Palm
the
Bay.
Shack
Yeah.
in Palm Bay, it really was very good.
I've been hearing great things. You keep telling me about
Yeah.
all these great times. I just gotta get down there finally.
Yeah. So that was another place that we've been to.
Yay. Well, it sounds like you had a busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the times that, we're getting out.
Well, thank you for that. Once again, that is this week's Eats with Darleen and eatdrinkplaybrevard.com. Okay, now again, I'm holding on.
I'm wanting to see this. This
I'm
is exciting.
I'm holding on for the grand finale, which is going to be these boobs.
Oh,
Oh.
not those.
Booze pops.
Was that FCA approved there, Jesse?
FCC, I think, is the regulatory body that you're. But no, not with podcasts. I could say boobs all day long. Booze pops.
All right.
But before that, we
Yes.
have the once again the Food Healing Oracle deck. It's all just food. It's a lot of fun, and if you've ever had like a reading, there's all kinds of decks, like all kinds of oracle cards out there. My mom just decided to do one based on food. So you're gonna pick 3 cards:
Okay.
past, present, and future,
Okay.
and then I'll read to you what's going on, what's in your cards here. Okay.
see.
Pick 3 cards. Any 3 cards? Oh, let me hold on to those. Oh, the top card. Okay, and then towards the bottom of the deck. Okay.
Look at her.
So put them in any order, face down. Perfect. We're gonna start with the first one. Pick the first one. Again, we're doing past, present, and future. What would you pick?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Okay, so that's your past. So let's go to and then simply, we just go through the guide.
Sweet potato?
I haven't learned the whole deck yet. I just got mine. So sweet potato. And I'm gonna try to get through this because I'm very excited about the booze pop. Sweet the potato. Let's see. and it's comfort. Okay, so comfort. Healing wisdom. Rock-a-bye baby. Feel yourself being held in the arms of Mother Earth and let her envelop and cradle you. Just like when you were a small child and needed to be comforted, Sweet Potato comes in to say that it is okay to let yourself be cared for. Life can be so difficult and sometimes very harsh. You can seek out comfort by the warm foods you crave or to be around those who know you and love you. When you're feeling anxious and stressed, it's okay to ask to be comforted. It is a sign of great strength to ask for what you need. Once you receive, you can fill up your reservoirs and give from the overflow. So go ahead and find your comfort zone, knowing that it will make the rest of your journey that much more enjoyable. Practical gifts. Who doesn't love the goodness of a sweet potato? Filled with an abundance of vitamin A, orange, sweet potatoes are the single highest beta-carotene food on earth. This delicious high-fiber vegetable has the ability to fight free radicals, cancer, and promote gut health. It's been shown to reduce inflammation at the cellular level. All of this along with being great for eye health. Did you know it comes in purple? They do indeed have purple sweet potatoes, where the main staple on an island in Japan where more people over 100 years old lived at one time. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, so that's the past.
Okay.
Now let's go for the present. Let's see what you picked there.
Papaya.
Papaya.
I'm on an orange.
I was just gonna
orange
say.
flow right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's that beta carotene. Flow. Papaya is flow. So healing wisdom. Are you ready to release blocks in your life and let the floodgates open? Whether it's emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual, it's time to receive. And yes, this includes financial abundance. Papaya is gifting you with the recognition that it's time to allow the universal energies to start flowing in your direction. And doing so, you can call on spirit to bring you that which you desire and let go of what obstructs your ability to manifest. To do this, you need to accept the universal law of receiving to have more flow. We are both divine, masculine, giving energy, and divine feminine, receiving energy. The divine feminine invites you to receive a direct proportion to your beliefs. Allow the flow of desire, money, health, wealth, love, and happiness come to you now. Practical gifts. Papaya is loaded with phytonutrients that allow for a better digestive flow, digestive enzymes. Papain are popular after meals. However, eating organic fresh papayas between meals will support your body's ability to detox and release that which is no longer good for you. So even better, eat a bowl of papaya in the morning to start your day. Papaya also has anti-aging properties due to its free radical fighting enzymes. Go with papaya and allow the benefits to flow for you.
Okay.
I hope that resonates. And then the future. Let's go for the future card.
Okay. Blueberries.
Blueberries. Oh, I love blueberries. I think this is a good one. Clarity. Healing wisdom. This card is asking you to zero in on what you seek. Do you know what that is? Are you unclear of your purpose for being here and showing up in the world? Blueberries bring these important questions to light to support your true authentic path. Remove all distractions that keep you from your soul's purpose, no matter what it takes to be blueberry bold. You must be an investigator of your soul so you can emanate a true beacon of light out to the universe. Let your message, prayer, or meditation be heard loud and clear when you are trying to see the forest through the trees and are asking for clearer vision. Keep your eye on the prize. Activate your clarity of vision by getting a deeper understanding of your what and why. Let the universe, God, spirit work on the how. Once you are crystal clear, the universe will respond accordingly. You won't want to miss the signs from above. They are meant for you to see. Okay, practical gifts. Consider the champion of fruits. For natural eye nutrition, dive into a basket of organic blueberries for literal clarity of vision. There are tops for antioxidants, which helps destroy cancer and other diseases. Blueberries are filled with fiber, so eat a handful on your next bowl of cereal, parfait, or salad to aid in digestion. And there you have it, your past, present, and future readings.
We should probably make blueberry popsicles is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
We'll make those next
And,
week.
and again, and ask for that money today. All right. Well,
That was fun.
listen, these are very well written. The pictures are just beautiful. Let me show some of the people at home. For those listening, just go to our Facebook page. You got to watch these videos. But yeah, beautiful pictures, like beautiful pictures, and it gives food a whole new meaning when you are able to identify,
That's cool.
what they're good for as far as health wise, and then also what their magical
Gifts.
kind of characteristic is. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for indulging me. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I think that was a lot of fun. That was cool.
Who needs a booze pop?
We do.
So what kind of booze pops did you bring?
So I brought one of our best sellers, which is our Moscow Mule.
What?
Ooh.
Yes. So we have our
How
beer and wine
fun.
license, so it's not full of liquor, which one day we'll get there. But we use a white wine, we use ginger beer, and then we use some lime juice. And I think we topped these with a little bit of mint leaves.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And they're one of our best sellers. We have people that request, and we have a customer that will come in, and when he sees that Moscow Mule's out, he'll come in and just get a dozen. And he's like,
wow.
these are mine.
Yeah.
Is that right? And you individually wrap them?
We do. We individually wrap. We use eco-friendly wrappers too, which is nice.
Very nice.
So they are biodegradable and compostable.
Cool.
And then I have Corona Sunrise. So we made Corona Popsicles because, Corona.
Why not?
There you
We
go.
like to be funny.
Beer freezes.
Yeah, it does. And so the Corona Sunrise is Corona beer with a little bit of grenadine syrup, I think. And then we use a little bit of like Sprite in there just to kind of help harden it up.
Cool.
So it's delicious. It's got a good taste to it. And then I think the third one I brought was a strawberry lemonade rosé.
Oh my gosh, they all
I
sound
think.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not one. No, I brought Hawaiian Breeze.
Well, let's just dive in. Yeah.
Let's definitely take a look at
Yeah.
them. I'm gonna snap a couple pictures when she brings them
Of
out.
course.
But yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let's snap
All right,
away.
let's do it.
Man.
Oh,
Hawaiian
you got your,
Breeze.
I brought the cooler.
the cooler right
So
here. Awesome.
She brings the delivered.
Half popsicles will travel.
Yes, have popsicles will travel. I like it. Now it looks like you have like big. That's not dry ice. It's just.
There is. So for Booze Pops, we do
Right.
dry ice because they will not stay together
Right.
otherwise.
Okay.
And then I brought a couple like normal flavors. I brought our butter beer, Nutella, and then our M&M, which is a specialty popsicle.
And those are non-alcoholic.
Those are non-alcoholic. Those are just our
M&M's
delicious
got to be good.
popsicles.
Can't go wrong with
Butter
M&M.
beer. Hello.
But
Harry Potter world.
See, I'm not a Harry Potter. My kids were. I never got into it.
Just go on the ride at Universal and then
know.
enjoy some butter beer. You would love it.
All right, so I'm-
Beer. So this is the Blue Hawaiian or Hawaiian Breeze. It's pineapple, it's Moscato, and we use blue carousel in it. And it's
wow.
delicious.
okay, I'm gonna go for that one. Do you want
Okay.
that one?
No.
I know
Ladies
he's-
first. Ladies'
he's
choice.
Probably want the Moscow Mule. That's when you're.
You know,
eyeing.
they all sound. I'm not going to be disappointed with whatever I get right now.
Oh my gosh, that's really good.
Stop it. Now I want to try it.
Here, did this get?
No, I'm kidding.
Could you get this in the camera? I can't tell because the
COVID can't last
Yeah.
beyond
Or
freezing,
do it.
right?
Correct. Who knows? Don't. I don't
I'm
actually
kidding.
know that, people.
And this one's like transparent. I can see right through to the
Here, I'm gonna
popsicle
put
stick.
this on yours because I can't tell.
And I see the mint leaf there at the top.
This is really good.
All right, here.
I love these fun colors
Here
too.
we go. I froze my lips to it.
And these are how much are these?
Oh wow.
So the Boozicles are $5 each. On Thursdays and Saturdays, we do a happy hour with them, and they are $4 a piece.
That is so unique.
And if you just follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we post our popsicle flavors and our stories every day with
Okay.
our deals and stuff. So it's helpful to look through that.
This is nice.
Are you getting a head freeze?
No, it's very gingery. I get lots of lime in there too. Yeah, very nice. What do you think?
I love it.
What does it taste like?
It's good. Yeah, it's definitely not something you get out of the freezer at the grocery store.
No.
It's not.
No, and I don't know how these are so ice cold. Like this is like I'm afraid to like touch my tongue like bare to it because my lips already stuck to it like it's Christmas Story.
Oh, the
You know,
frozen pole.
you know where the kid licks the
So-
pole.
So there's like
it's
little
like that
leaves
cold.
in that. Is that what you said?
There's
That's a mint leaf.
We topped it with some mint.
Oh, that's cool. Here, let me get a picture of you eating your popsicle.
Yeah, so these are quite delicious.
So Jesse, curious, do you eat popsicles like
Never.
never? I don't typically eat popsicles either. It's not something I go,
It's not. I didn't start making popsicles because like I had this deep love for them. I just thought it's Florida. They'd be really
Yeah.
fun. They can, be year round here.
And especially for the kids, it
Yeah,
keeps them occupied
yeah.
while mommy and daddy get to have
Yeah.
a nice tea
Yeah.
or coffee.
And we wanted our shop to be something for every generation. So you can come in, coffee, tea, popsicles. We've got muffins for our food element of it.
Right.
Something for everyone is kind of what we try.
popsicles are starting to trend though. I'm starting to see where it's something that is kind of growing in popularity. which I think is really cool because it's something I think that was popular like when I was a kid. Because I know popsicles were something that as a kid I remember being I don't know that restaurants sold them, but when I grew up, there wasn't there weren't tons of restaurants that you would go to get, this type of thing. But I think popsicles have really just kind of taken off a little bit, unique ones. People are getting creative.
One of the
little gourmet pucks.
Yeah.
And even in magazines where, at home making them and that type of stuff, I think they're growing in popularity as far as trending.
Well, because they're both delicious and adorable, and we do live in a culture that loves Instagram and taking pictures, and popsicles are very easy to add some, cute little elements to your photos.
You're not kidding. Yeah.
And they're not super fattening.
No.
These would be, yeah. I
No,
would think
like
these are
we have, we do a strawberry, like we do just fruit-based ones, and our strawberry pops are like, I think I mapped it out, and it's about 23 calories per popsicle. Whereas, like, then you can go to our M&M pop, and that's more, but you can it fits your style. So really, like, we do try to hit everything. Some of our popsicles are vegan, some are keto friendly, some are just full of deliciousness, some are most of them are gluten-free. Yeah. Dairy free. So again, we try to hit something for everyone so that, if your friend's gluten intolerant and they, are like, well, I can't ever go anywhere or do anything, or they're vegan and they want to stick to that, we try to have, something for that.
So is that on your menu that you have the gluten and the vegan?
When I post every morning, we have dairy free marked. But if you come in or if you call the shop, we have an entire ingredients list that we can go into and make sure that it's not gonna break your diet or your allergy, and we've had one of my cousins has a severe peanut allergy, so I'm very aware of that, and so I mark everything in there with allergies, with sugar, just so that we can, because I understand that that's something that some parents have to really care about and pay attention to for their kid, and we want to help.
Yeah, and allergies even with gluten, it's gotten, very, it can be very severe for some people. Yeah. I know my son's girlfriend has a very severe gluten allergy, and if she and I know I've cooked for her and not realizing that, like, in a sauce, and it's not realizing there was gluten in it, and it's made her sick, and I feel horrible because I'm thinking everything was gluten-free. But then in, like, that little teriyaki sauce, there was gluten in it. Yeah. So it's really important, and I think that's great having options for them because they do have such limited things that they can choose from. So, their options in life are so small, and we who can have whatever we want to eat, we really do take that for granted every day, that we can just eat whatever we want per se.
That's the beauty of small business and knowing your small business owners is that, like, I had a parent reach out, and for her kid's birthday party, she's like, hey, we can't do cake, we can't do this, but can you make these popsicles? And that way she's got a super special treat for her birthday. And as a small business owner, I'm happy to help accommodate, especially for birthdays, to make them special days. But that's something you get when you go support your local businesses, is that there's that personal relationship there where we understand and we can kind of do things for you that may not be necessarily on our menu, but we can work with you to make the product that you're wanting.
Do you make a birthday cake flavored?
We have a birthday cake popsicle.
Ah, there you go. That's kind of cool.
I'm just I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
This is a really good booze popsicle.
Excuse me, officer. I had nothing to drink, but I ate 25 popsicles.
I'm innocent, I swear. No, this is delightful. It's been such a treat.
Yeah, I've
like
enjoyed
literally
this.
and figuratively, like having you. And it sounds like you got amazing concepts going. And,
it's worked.
And I can see why, because we see the passion coming through, the experimenting, the ingenuity, just trying to just be creative in your space, and I think that's what works, because again there's so many others that when it comes to coffee, it's not a hard recipe. It's like hot water, some ground beef. But if you can present it well, if you could put your own little personal twist and spin on it, which you've done effectively, throughout. So really enjoying the conversation. So thank you so much for spending the last hour with us, and especially thank you for the treats. This is so unique. I am just so thrilled.
Yeah.
And I just can't get over it.
Yeah. See, we've introduced you to something brand new.
I am introduced. Yeah, no, this has been great. So let's share finally how people can find more about you, and of course share your location, numbers, all your
All the good
contact
stuff.
info. Yeah.
So we are on Facebook and Instagram. We're River-Road-C as in coffee, P as in popsicles. We have a very active Instagram feed. We try to connect on social media because we think that's just as important as giving you a quality product when you come into the shop. But your first experience is going to be more than likely our online presence. I must shout out our photographer, Jen, with Moth and Moon Photography. She is the woman behind all of our beautiful photos, and we would not be half of what we are without her.
That's awesome.
And so you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. If you want to come to the shop, we are in Cocoa Village, but we're on the outskirts. We're more on the Rockledge side of it. So we were a standalone location when we began. Now we have a salon next door to us. We've got a catering company, and then they just put a sign up for a cantina, which I'm pumped about. So we've got a couple businesses opening up around us, but we are on Rosa L. Jones Drive. If you go US 1, turn on Rosa L. Jones, go through a stop sign. We're right there on the right. You will clearly see all of our signage, and we would love to have you come visit us.
Yeah, and I do want to throw this in real quick because we didn't talk about this. So in the past, you've had like the little areas where you can play games, because I know that in my image today I posted where you had the games. Not something that you're not doing right now because of COVID, but if someone comes and they want to sit in their own area, they can bring a game.
Yeah, we've had plenty of customers bring their own games, and we had a group that brought in Settlers and sat there for hours and played that. Our kids area used to have games also. I've taken those away for COVID reasons. There's still some books there that you can read, but there's plenty of space there for the kids to play. And we're happy. You're welcome to bring games or kind of what you want to make it fun there. And we'll supply the coffee and popsicles.
Okay, and if someone wanted to bring in a sandwich, if they're working all day, they can bring a sandwich.
Because we don't serve, we're not a full service cafe. We're trying to just stick to what our name is, coffee and popsicles. We do have muffins from Mulberry Lane, which is a local bakery here. But I'm fine with you bringing lunch, and we joke and say if you bring us some too, we'll be really fine with it.
Exactly.
There you go. But you definitely have to at least get some coffee.
Yeah, coffee, popsicles, tea.
Something.
I didn't even ask. Where do you source your beans from?
We have a local roaster. It's Black Cat Coffee. She's based out of Titusville.
Okay.
And she is incredible.
Cool.
We love her.
Love the local, like everything local, like hyper local source.
Yeah,
we keep it as local as we possibly can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing that I talked about in my post today, and it just kind of came to me as I was going to a very non-local, like pretty much every day probably. And then when I started really focusing on local, I really never realized how much I would love the coffees at the non-chain significantly more. It's so much better.
It's higher quality.
It's so much higher quality. And honestly, it's probably less expensive and not the same price.
Yeah.
And you're supporting your local people. Yep. Why would you not do? And honestly, the lines at the other places are stupid.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and they just.
Yeah.
I have lots of opinions about that.
No. Yes, and they're not amazing. So support local. That's what I'm saying.
I like that. Support local, and just one last thing. I know there's so much to catch up on. You mentioned how there's a rise in popsicles. I've been seeing more ice cream trucks out there because everybody stayed at home and they're not going. So all of a sudden they're like back in the neighborhood, like circulating around, and so maybe there's a little something to that as well. I'm not sure.
There you go.
But I will be back, or I'll be there at all.
Come visit us.
I know. I need to come visit. It's horrible.
For sure.
Anyway, thanks so much. And once again, this is Space Coast Eats. Darleen, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, you've been listening to Space Coast Eats right here on the Space Coast at Space Coast Podcast Studios. Tune in every Thursday when we go live on Facebook. Otherwise, catch every episode anywhere you find podcasts. Just search for Space Coast Podcast Network to tune in and find all of our archived episodes. Thank you so much. Until next week. May all of your podcasts be delicious, just like Space Coast Eats. Take care, guys.